Hey, what is up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of Fire Emblem Engage for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm going to be honest, this game kind of just came and went for me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just that I wasn't really I kind of had fallen out of Fire Emblem for a while. I did play a handful of the games, but I did buy and play and or buy sorry, I did buy and or play some of the games in the past, but I kind of just gave up around 2017. I haven't played a single game since then, and here we are with Fire Emblem Engage, which seemed to have come out quite quicker than I thought. This game came out like about 3-4 years after the previous entry, and I have a feeling that felt so short was partially because of buy-list inclusion in Super Smash Brothers. But we also had that Three Hopes sequel slash spin-off game that also came out. So this coming out seemed a bit, it almost, from my perspective, it seemed a bit early, and it also didn't help that if you notice, if you look on the back here, that they brought back returning characters from previous entries. So we have Lynn over here. I think that that's Byleth. We have I believe, we have Ike from Path of Radiant and Radiant Dawn. We have Marth, who was from the original game, but also most famously from Smash Brothers as well. I don't know who the red hair girl is, but yeah, I don't know. Just something about the design just didn't feel, the character's design also didn't feel quite right to me. Um, I don't know. Just That's just me. But the point is, I have the game now. I actually got this on sale too. It was 49 Canadian dollars. Generally speaking, uh, first party Nintendo games never drop in price. Um, and that's certainly, especially Fire Emblem games. Um, I recall getting Fire Emblem Awakening not too long ago. I had to pay $30 for that, which isn't too far off from its original launch price of about $40. And during the 3DS's life, it actually went up to closer to $50 from what I remember. So yeah, Fire Emblem games have had a history of retaining their values, alongside, especially if since this the since Fire Emblem Awakening helped create a resurgence. Yeah, especially since the franchise made a resurgence because of Fire Emblem Awakening. Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn are like very sought after now. Um, so yeah, needless to say, the franchise is in a significantly better spot than it was, um, 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, when Awakening was like their last chance, and since then, the franchise has continued on, with or without me. Now, now we look at the side. It's your standard Switch case. You got the Nintendo logo. Um, Looking closer on the back, we see it is strictly a single player game in both docked mode, tabletop mode, and handheld mode. You can also use the Pro controller, which is expected, but you also have amiibo compatibility. I don't know to the extent of the amiibo compatibility, but it's there. Generally, amiibo compatibility has been very limited. I can't even remember if they had amiibos for the main characters of this game. Maybe they did. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, so let's actually open this up now. Before I forget, yeah, so I said I got this for about 49 Canadian dollars. Traditionally in Canada, full price Nintendo Switch releases are 79.99. So I got this, basically about 30% off. No, actually, it's yeah, about 30% off. It's so roughly in that ballpark. So like if we it's like three out of eight, whatever that is. Now I could honestly have just waited, especially since I haven't played any of the Switch Fire Emblem games released on Switch. I haven't played Three Houses or its spin-off, so I'm kind of skipping an entry here. I do I do uh, tend to prefer playing games in some sort of order, um, especially if so that I can get a good idea of the gameplay innovations in between each entries or regressions in some cases. We've seen that happen quite a number of times with a lot of other franchises, specifically Sonic, where gameplay gets worse in between each title, or or to bring up Sonic again, the gameplay is so vastly different from one another that it really doesn't matter most of the time. That said, in the case of Fire Emblem, I know that they have three houses brought in like multiple. Actually, no, it was Fire Emblem Fates that brought in like branching story paths. But in the case of Fire Emblem Fates, you had to buy like they took the Pokemon approach where you had to buy like two separate versions just to get two different routes. Um, Thankfully, Three Houses did not do that. It's all just one big. It's just one big package. I don't know what the story with Engage is, but let's open it up. Okay, so we have this really nice looking artwork in the background. I've come to have a greater appreciation for this sort of thing. It looks really nice, but of course, much like a lot of games these days, it does not have a manual of any kind. Um, it's just simply the cartridge, and you're lucky if the cartridge even includes the full game. Thankfully, much of Nintendo's first-party outings have everything on the cartridge, and I seriously hope it stays that way because I do not want to. I I do not want to live in a future where I'm not comfortable with a future where you give me a game, a physical copy of a game, and it's nothing but either nothing but a download code, or you you have to download. They give you a cartridge. You have to download part of it, only to find out that the servers are now shut down. So and and Nintendo servers that is, and you can't re-download it. Now, fortunately, Nintendo hasn't completely gone that route, and by that I mean like they shut down the server. They haven't like, well, they have shut down the ability to purchase games off of say the Wii, 3DS, and Wii U. You can still go back and re-download stuff. Thank goodness, but it's unclear how long that's gonna last. All right, so let's. Okay, so here's the logo, the Fire Emblem Engage logo. Let's see if I can actually claim the goal points. Actually, okay, it says that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see if it actually works. Oh no, it's probably not. It's probably not working. And yeah, you cannot collect my Nintendo. Yeah, this game did come out back in January of 2023, so unfortunately, I am not able to claim any of the points. So let's see. Let's go to software update. Okay, it's downloading an update because of course, even though of course it still has an update. Okay, let's see. Let's see how big the update is. Okay, so oh wow. Wait, really? Update data is 3.9 gigabytes. Okay, that's I mean that's not the worst, but considering how relatively uh small Switch games are, which is actually quite surprising, especially given that games like Call of Duty are like well over 100. 3.9 out of I think 3.9 for Switch games. Um, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much, but in the case of Nintendo Switch, it's actually pretty significant. But yeah, 3.9 gigabytes. Not too bad. Um, let's see. What else? Oh yeah, this game also has an expansion pack which costs 40 Canadian dollars as well. So unfortunately, I guess ever since Fire Emblem Awakening, they've been doing DLC. The DLC in of itself not a problem, but the problem is when, like I said, they shut down the 3DS and Wii U uh, stores, so you can't even buy them now unless you mod your system, and there is no like complete edition. So it's oh yeah, actually yeah, it's even worse for Fire Emblem Fates because unless you bought the Revelations DLC, you can you you cannot play that third story path unless either you already bought it digitally or you had the special edition cartridge which has all three routes built into the cartridge. Um, and what else was there? Fire Emblem Three Houses. Also has DLC. Um, Fire Emblem Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors spinoff that also has DLC. Yeah, so unfortunately, we haven't had a Fire Emblem game that actually got an updated release in the form of like some sort of complete edition. So we're kind of out of luck there. That said, who knows? Maybe Nintendo might go back and re-release a lot of their old games and give them like a complete edition for their next generation console. It is very much possible they could do that. They could just do that, just to fill up the release window, since it's unclear what Nintendo is up to. They kind of let the Wii U they left that system out to dry towards the end, like especially in 2016. So maybe they're probably doing the same thing. You know, we're getting a bunch of remakes and remasters recently. Uh, maybe that's meant to hold people over until the next generation. But really I don't know. But anyways, guys, that pretty much does it for this video. I would start up the game, but honestly, do I really need to? um, yeah, no, I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. As always, as I always say, you know, if you want to see more, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.